What's going on, everybody? Welcome to MG Marine Tech. Today we are going to be doing an unboxing of the Garmin LiveScope Plus System. Show you guys what you receive in the box if you purchase one of these things and answer some very common, simple questions along the way. Before we get started, don't forget guys, because at 15,000 subscribers, we are going to be giving away a complete LiveScope Plus LVS 34 system. Hit that subscribe button down below to make sure you are able to enter to win. Let's get this unboxed, show you guys what you get if you purchase or win the LiveScope Plus system. I'm going to spare you guys the unboxing process. We're going to dive right into what exactly you get and answer some of the questions along the way. Bread and butter of the LiveScope Plus system is the LVS 34 transducer. Now, when you buy a LiveScope Plus, the Plus is dictating or telling you that you're going to receive a LVS 34 transducer. This is the latest and greatest transducer, has the best resolution, target separation, picture clarity, range, etc. Comes with a 20-foot long cable right here. Will fit almost every application. I do sell, and they do sell extensions for these as well as bulkheads. So if you want to take this thing in and out of the boat really quick, I do have a bulkhead solution for you guys as well. That transducer gets plugged into the GLS-10, also known as the black box for obvious reasons. This is required for every single LiveScope setup that you're gonna run. You wanna run two of these things, you're gonna need two of these things. Only instance where a GLS-10 black box is not needed is for the LVS 12 transducer, which is no longer in production, and it requires a special screen. So you would need a Ultra, and or there are very few GPS maps that do it as well. Diving into the cable side of it, it comes with 3 different cables here. Now, I get a lot of questions on this, but it's very, very straightforward. You get a 2-piece networking cable. These are now known as the BlueNet networking cables. Garmin has changed the name of them. They used to just be small end or small connector. Obviously, that would be the small end. This would be the large end. This large end is known to most people as just like an Ethernet plug. This is what gets plugged into your screen and or your Garmin networking hub. Now again, this is a 2-piece cable. This end right here gets plugged into this end right here, and then the small end gets plugged into the GLS-10 black box. If you guys do need to extend this cable, they sell this portion right here in longer sections. So if your GLS-10 is mounted far away from your network hub and or your screen, I have solutions for longer networking cables. Now the next thing is the power cable. Very, very straightforward. You've got a power and a ground and a fuse holder. If you do have to extend these wires, it is very, very important that you use the proper wire. Always use marine grade tin wire and use the proper gauge wire with that. Now, this is all covered in the instruction manual as well. Nothing less than 12 gauge to extend these wires, whether it is a foot or 5 or 10 feet. And in some cases, you might even have to jump up to 10 or 8 gauge wire. Again, that is all covered in your LiveScope installation and user manual. And that is very important to provide the proper voltage for your LiveScope black box to provide the best picture. Moving on to the mounts. Garmin provides you with a bag of mounts for various different applications. So we'll go through these really, really quick. And one of the nice things about the LiveScope Plus system is Garmin provides the perspective mode mount. Now, the old system, the LiveScope system, it did not come with that. That was something you would have to purchase separately. Now it is included. There is your perspective mount, and the perspective mount will do all 3 modes. So it will do forward, down, and perspective all in this one mode. You've got your mounting knob. This is very important. This is how this transducer is installed. This knob goes through the center of the transducer and then threads into whichever mount you have. This is a trolling motor barrel mount. So this is a mount that you would use if you're actually attaching this to the barrel or the motor section of a trolling motor. Hardware for mounts, the back shell of the trolling motor shaft mount and or pole mount. Same one for both of those. A 8-degree mount if you don't want to use the perspective mount. Allen key for the hardware, as well as this little piece of rubber is to mount either on your trolling motor shaft or your pole mount shaft to prevent these from moving. It helps keep them in place. Moving on to these two items right here, we have a ferrite choke. This is to help with any interference issues. And then we have these little two clamshell devices right here. These are replacement threaded ends for a couple different cables. One for the networking cable. So this little screw here, that is what attaches it to the screen and keeps it watertight, keeps it in place. It can be used to replace that. And it can also be used to replace the one on the end of the LVS cable. If you have to, for whatever reason, remove this clamp, in most cases, if you're removing this clamp, you are feeding this cable through a smaller hole. So if you don't want a huge hole, you can remove this clamp on here and you can actually slide it through a little bit smaller hole. There are some systems or some pole mounts on the market where the transducer cable actually slides up through the pole itself, which is a really, really nice feature. I'm going to be covering one here in a couple of days from TKI CNC. Hands down, one of the best LiveScope poles on the market. I'm really excited to show you guys that one. That is what this transducer is going to get installed on. So once I get done with this video, I'm going to install it on my TKI CNC LiveScope pole. You will need some way to thread it back into the GLS-10, so that is what these are, a replacement threaded end right there. The good old instruction manual, and as most of us know, most people are just going to look at this and throw it right in the trash. But believe it or not, there is a ton of useful information in here, and it will explain almost all of this. So definitely take a peek through this. Most all of everybody's questions can be answered from this little pamphlet right here. There you have it. This is everything that is in the box of a LiveScope Plus system. If you guys are lucky enough to win the 15,000 subscriber giveaway, this is exactly what you're gonna get. Or if you are in the market, head on over to mgmarinetech.com. You can make your purchase of your LiveScope Plus system there. As always, guys, if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more tips and tricks on MG Marine Tech.